Welcome to Celestial Insights, a weekly podcast that brings the stars down to earth. I'm your host, astrologer, coach, and intuitive Celeste Brooks. My purpose is to provide practical, unique, and insightful guidance to help you navigate the energies of the week like a boss. Hello, this is Celeste of Astrology by Celeste, and on this episode, I will discuss the astrology for the week of August 25th, 2024. If you are attending the Astrological Association's 56th annual conference that starts this Wednesday, August 28th through Sunday, September 1st, and you see me there, come say hi. Or better yet, come to my workshop about the consultation chart on Friday, or my talk on Fire in the Sky about the Venus and Mercury retrogrades of 2025 on Sunday. I would love to meet you in person. There's still time to sign up for my talks online if you would like to do so, and you get access for 90 days to the recordings. Also, the next new moon workshop will be on Sunday, September 1st. I will be hosting it from Leicester, England. So when you tune in, you'll be tuning into me in my hotel room. This is a really important new moon, the Virgo new moon, because we are in eclipse season. The first lunar eclipse is September 17th. So you'll be learning about that and what may be coming up for you. You'll be learning all about the astrology of Virgo season, as well as I will do as many hot take natal chart readings as I can. And I hope to see you there. So first, let's take a look back on the astrology in action. And the titles of the episodes always show up somehow. And so the week titled The Sopranos, and I talked about how we may find out about a criminal organization or a conspiracy. I was thinking of that TV show. And that week, there were arrests made in the Matthew Perry case. He died 9 months ago when there was a new moon in Scorpio from a drug overdose, and then he drowned in his hot tub. Now, 9 months later, during the first quarter moon in Scorpio, arrests were made about this criminal network that had been supplying drugs at an exorbitant rates. And there were 2 doctors specifically that were part of this and were arrested. And Jupiter rules doctors. And on the day this was announced, Jupiter was approaching a square with Saturn and Pisces, but it was on the day Mars in Gemini squared Saturn and Pisces. So Jupiter rules doctors. Jupiter is a benefic. It aids to life. I mean, the creed of doctors that they all pledge to is first do no harm. Obviously, these were horrible people, really reminiscent of what happened with Michael Jackson. And Mars square Saturn. Mars, you can think about Mars, the criminal activity, square Saturn. Saturn punishes. Saturn is consequences. So these people were arrested and now they will have to, face the consequences for their actions. But if you think about the bigger picture about the moon phase families, so the event took place around the new moon in Scorpio, and 9 months later we have the arrests. Scorpio rules death and rebirth, but you could think about death. It's a water sign that brings in the drowning. And it also is associated with like criminal organizations and conspiracies. So we can see how that ties in as well. There was also a Mercury retrograde piece in that there were a bunch of text messages that the people in this network had deleted, but the police were able to retrieve them. So the text communications, Mercury rules communications, were retrieved. There was also, I believe it was either the day before, the day of the full moon in Aquarius, that a yacht in Italy that had some very wealthy people on it was destroyed by a tornado that came in out of nowhere, and very scary event, and people passed away. So the full moon in Aquarius with the sun in Leo, the moon in Aquarius exactly squared Uranus. So this is an example of what is a Uranian event. Like my understanding that everything was fine, the weather was fine, and then boom, the storm comes in, and boom, there's a tornado, and it destroys this boat. And this also is reflective of one of the Jupiter square Saturn stories. So Jupiter rules wealthy people is one of the things it rules, and squaring Saturn and Pisces. There was destruction, Saturn's death, Saturn's a Grim Reaper on the seas with this Saturn and Pisces, trouble from water, this horrible storm. I didn't even know they had tornadoes in Italy. So yeah, very like a freak occurrence, a freak event. That's Uranus. Another example, Jupiter also rules royalty, and Gemini rules siblings. So Jupiter and Gemini squaring Saturn and Pisces. So King Charles has fired his brother Prince Andrew's security team. Apparently, he's trying to force him out of whatever house he lives in. And so Jupiter rules royalty, so that we have that part of the piece. It's also protective. Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system and is thought to protect the Earth from space junk. Saturn separates, Saturn isolates, and Saturn ends things, so ending his security detail. And you know, last week I wondered if it would be something about Prince Harry and William. No, it was about their father and his brother and their conflict. And you can really feel the Uranus energy about, you know, is this causing, I mean, I don't know if they get along at all or anything, but will this cause like, you know, more of a permanent separation or break between the two brothers? We also, Jennifer Lopez filed for divorce from Ben Affleck. And I've talked before about how they have a Venus-Saturn conjunction. So her Venus and his Saturn are both at 18 degrees of Gemini. And Saturn's the glue, and Venus rules relationships. And this can be the glue that holds relationships together. But Saturn can be very cold and isolating, controlling, we can think about. And it can just be suggested that the relationship, although there may be a lot of love and what have you, but at times it can feel like a prison. April Elliott Kent calls it soulmates or cellmates when you're talking about Saturnian things. It's like you have karma together, but it can feel very confining. And so Saturn in the sky in Pisces has been squaring that Venus-Saturn conjunction that is the synastry between the two of them. And Saturn puts pressure on us. It tests us. And so their relationship has been really struggling through some tests. And then in comes Jupiter, and Jupiter rules freedom. So the Jupiter square Saturn conjunction happened at Jupiter and Gemini at 17 degrees, Saturn and Pisces at 17 degrees, you know, ba-boom, ba-bomb, and freed them from this confinement. Anyway, she filed for divorce. And so very sad, but that's that story. So those are several stories that we saw in the news about the Jupiter-Saturn square. And as I said, Jupiter rules celebrities, it rules royalty, and it rules rich people. And we saw all of them. It also rules religion. I think there was a religious story, but I can't remember what it was. Anyway, so that's that. I'm excited to be a faculty member for the Organization of Professional Astrology's retreat in Park City, Utah from October 16th through 21st. I will be teaching a Moon Mastery Intensive over 3 days. This is going to be intimate, where there will be no more than 9 participants. You'll learn everything about the moon and her cycles to deepen your understanding of your natal chart. We will delve into the past, the present, and what's going to be coming up in the future so that you can use the energies in order to achieve your goals. You can also bring a chart of someone else with their permission. If you want to join, do not hesitate. Sign up today because there are limited spots. I would love to be your guide as you deepen your understanding of our beautiful lunar teacher. The theme of this week is Jeepers Peepers. And there are 3 things I would like you to think about as you navigate this week. So the first is that we're going to have a last quarter moon at 3 degrees of Gemini on Monday. The last quarter moon is the crisis of consciousness. It's where we do the psychological integration about what came before it. So you can think about what has gone on over the last 3 weeks since the new moon. What have you learned about yourself? What have you experienced? You can also look back to the moon phase family, this 27-month cycle. So on May 30th of 2022, there was a new moon in Gemini where the sun and the moon were both in Gemini at 9 degrees of that sign. The first quarter moon was 9 months later where the sun was in Pisces and the moon was in Gemini on February 27th, 2023, and they were both at 8 degrees. The full moon, the sun in Sagittarius, the moon in Gemini, both at 4 degrees on November 27th, 2023. And now we're at the last quarter moon where the sun in Virgo and the moon in Gemini are both at 3 degrees on August 26th, 2024. So is there a story in your life potentially about Gemini topics? Gemini rules siblings or neighbors, things close to us. It's an air sign. Air communicates, air connects. Gemini is like a fact gatherer. So just wants to learn and know everything that it can about something. It also has to do with early education. So you may find your thoughts go back to when you were in school, or if you have little kids, like something about their schooling may be coming up with this. So those are some things to think about. Gemini rules reporters. Also, there's associations with teachers. So you may see some stories in the news regarding that. Now, an interesting thing about this, both Gemini and Virgo are ruled by the planet Mercury. And right now, Mercury is retrograde in Leo. Leo rules royalty and celebrity as well. So maybe there'll be a story about siblings that comes up, or like secrets revealed about them. We'll see what happens. Yeah. So the card for the sun is the 8 of Pentacles, the sun in Virgo, the 8 of Pentacles. And this tarot card is a card of mastery through hard work and attention to detail. And it's like you need to put 10,000 hours into something to be an expert kind of energy with the card. And the Sabian symbol is black and white children playing happily together. And the moon in Gemini's tarot correspondence card is the 8 of Swords. And this can be a self-imposed prison. With this card is what it brings the imagery of. It's like someone whose hands are bound, but they're bound by scars. And you can just lift your hands up and the scars will fall away. So with this, you can think about what prisons have you locked yourself into, and especially when we get into Virgo season, like over obsessing or thinking about things over and over again. The Sabian symbol is holly and mistletoe bring Christmas spirit to a home. So you can think about how you kiss under the mistletoe. So the two Sabian symbols together really make me think of the Democratic National Convention. It's still ongoing as I'm taping this. But the image of black and white children playing happily together, it was very diverse, and like the energy was just incredibly joyful. And with the holly and mistletoe, it's a tradition. Every 4 years, the political parties come together to nominate their candidates and celebrate and all of that kind of stuff. Ooh, somebody may be, in the wrong room or something like that. We'll see if there's any anything that comes out about the convention, because they'll probably still be think pieces and stuff rolling out on Sunday, Monday of this week about the convention and what it means and blah, blah, blah. But for most of us, just be mindful that Mercury's retrograde ruling this last quarter moon. So technology glitches are possible. Triple check your timing of meetings and things like that, and you'll be just fine. On Wednesday, Mercury stations direct at 21 Leo. Thank goodness. So happy Mercury is finally stationing direct. It's been a bit of a bumpy ride over the last couple of weeks since August 4th when Mercury stationed retrograde. So there'll probably be some big story related to this transit and a story with Kamala Harris because this is on her Mars. So her Mars in the third house of communication. The third house rules transportation as well. Mars rules competition. So it'll be interesting to see, does she do an interview on this day? Or is there, politics is dirty business and they both say things about each other, but is there something, that comes out about her on this day? We shall see. But for our own lives, it's best to review what we've learned, or slow down on this day, just being aware that as a planet stations, its energy is intensified 5 days before, 5 days after. Good to be slowing down as you're speaking, driving, walking, all those things, paying extra attention. Now, one thing that came up last week on the day of Venus in Virgo, squaring Mars in Gemini. Virgo rules labor, has associations with the workforce, and Mars rules error in Gemini counting. You can think about Mercury rules Gemini counting errors, and the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics revised estimates for total employment down by over 800,000, the largest such downgrade in 15 years. So that was a big deal that so many jobs, job growth was still decent, but nowhere near as what it was thought to have been between April 2023 and March 2024. I'm taping this on the day the news was announced. We'll see if it impacts the markets because that's a big drop. And I'm sure there's a lot of questions about how this error was made. I don't know how they do that sort of thing. But you can think about, Virgo and accountable and statistics and all of that kind of thing. And this has happened. The announcement was made on the last day of Leo season. So the sun will move into Virgo and there'll be all of this discussion about accountability for this mistake. So that may be what you've seen last week when the sun went into Virgo. The last thing I want to make you aware of is that Venus will enter the sign of Libra from Thursday, August 29th through September 22nd. This is the home sign for the planet that rules peace and justice and balance and harmony and all these beautiful, lovely things. Venus is the planet of relationships. And the sign of Libra, it has to do with one-on-one relationships. So one-on-one communication. You can think about your love partner, your business partners. It also has to do with open enemies. It would be wonderful if we saw one of these conflicts around the world come to some peace process at this time. We'll see if that happens. Israel is a Libra rising. So hopefully during this time that Venus is in Libra, there will be a ceasefire deal, which has been, I can't believe this horrific war has been going on for 10 months. It's just catastrophic. But once Venus goes into her home sign, she can do what she does with ease, which is to try to find win-win solutions, be more collaborative, speak with eloquence and clarity. The quality of mercy speech from the Merchant of Venice is such a Venus and Libra speech. You can Google it or, watch it on YouTube. Yeah. Now, shadows of Libra are people-pleasing or being indecisive, so busy weighing the options. The glyph for Libra is the scales, that you don't make any kind of decision. If you find yourself getting into that, You know, you can just flip a coin or pull a tarot card or something like that. If you are embarking on a new journey, experiencing a major life event, feeling stuck, trying to make a difficult decision, or just looking to make positive changes, astrology can provide life-changing insights. There are several ways to work with me. You can come for a 30, 60, or 90-minute astrology consultation depending on your needs. Ask me a burning question and I'll record a video for you. Engage in longer-term cosmic success coaching where we work together on a 3-month basis to help you overcome blocks, improve your life satisfaction, build better relationships, accomplish your career goals, and understand yourself better using the tool of astrology. Or mystic mentoring if you're an aspiring astrologer and want help with chart analysis techniques. Go to astrologybyceleste.com to check out my offerings. If you have any questions, you can email me at celeste@astrologybyceleste.com. On Sunday, the word of the day is HUMDRUM. We start the week with a moon in Taurus, and the moon is exalted here. This can be a really nice energy to just relax, enjoy the senses. The moon will be trine Venus in Virgo, so that can be just really lovely and pleasurable. In HUMDRUM, you're just kind of like having a little kind of like boring but lovely day. Sometimes just like moving like a turtle, doing nothing, eating some grapes or whatever can be just lovely. The moon will meet Uranus, so there could be a little bit of surprise or awakening or something like that. And then the moon will sextile Neptune. So this could be, oh, let's go unexpectedly out and grab a cocktail. Yeah, that could be moon, Uranus, sextile Neptune, how that shows up. Because Uranus rules what's unexpected, Neptune, alcohol. The moon will enter Gemini at 8:03 p.m. Pacific time. This could be like you're watching a movie and it ends and then you start talking about it because Gemini is an air sign. Air communicates, air connects. There may be some kind of story that happens in the news. This often happens. There's something that like grabs our attention with the moon in Gemini. On Monday, the word of the day is uncovered. So there might be some scandal that's uncovered with Mercury retrograde because we have that last quarter moon, which is activating, and it could have a nature of Virgo and Gemini. Virgo and Gemini. It could be a whistleblower type of thing. Yeah. So the last quarter moon's at 2:25 a.m. Pacific time. So just notice if something is uncovered in some way. On Tuesday, the word of the day is SCREWY. Venus in Virgo is trine Uranus and Taurus on this day. Trines are smooth, easy flow of energy, and so you could get an unexpected blessing on this day. So really pay attention to what's going on. Yeah. SCREWY, I get like screwball comedy, like Lucille Ball's I Love Lucy. Maybe you want to watch something like that on TV. Maybe you are at work and you have just a great laugh with the people you work with. These are earth signs, so there could be a story about health or wealth. Like with Mercury retrograde, you may find like a 20 in a pair of pants pocket. So that's be like, oh, yay. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how SCREWY shows up. Yeah, because there also can be a mistake and a meet cute where you both grab at the same. You're at Target and you and a sexy stranger, you're both single, and you both grab at the same item and, you know, you're off to the races with a new relationship. That could be happening. A bunch of people may meet someone for dating. On Wednesday, the word of the day is embarrassment. Now on this day, the moon will enter the sign of Cancer at 1:47 a.m. Pacific time. The moon is at home in Cancer. It's a sign of mothers and caregiving. It can do what it does with ease, which is what feel. Like someone may wake up a little melancholy on this day or something like that. Maybe missing a lost love. Venus in Virgo is opposite Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So both at 29 degrees on that last degree of crisis and decay, there's going to be some kind of story. Hopefully I'm a little worried about financial markets with this energy. There's also Mercury stations direct at 21 Leo on this day. Now, Kamala Harris is a native Venus in Virgo. We'll see if there's some, embarrassing tabloid story or something that comes out about her or someone else in the political race. That could be something that happens, or just, something that comes to our attention about a Leonic type figure, which would be like a celebrity or royalty or something like that. We'll see, and it causes them a little bit of embarrassment. On Thursday, the word of the day is STEELY. Venus will enter the sign of Libra at 6:22 a.m. And soon after that, Venus and Pluto in Aquarius will be in a trine. So that could be really nice energy. Venus in Libra, trine Pluto in Aquarius. Kamala Harris has Venus and Pluto conjunct. So there's definitely going to be a story about her. And I wonder if there's going to be like some kind of financial news or something where her campaign is going to have to speak about it, because it could be something that's a little, I just realized that Mars in Leo at 21 degrees of Leo squares Joe Biden's Mercury at 21 degrees of Scorpio. So there could be a story related to where she's asked or answers questions related to something about the Biden administration, or an excited utterance Joe Biden makes. We'll see what the story is. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what comes up on this day, because the sun in Virgo, and Virgo rules health matters, is quincunx the North Node in Aries, and they're both at 6 degrees. Yeah, she could be asked about, if she does some kind of interview, about like, what did you know and when did you know it about Joe Biden's health or something like that. And she's called to account, and how she answers. And I mean, she's a tough lady, and like steely, if she gets too steely, it'll be interesting to see if anything happens. Although she should be feeling great with Venus in both Virgo and Libra, because Virgo is her natal placement of her Venus, and Libra is where her sun is. So we'll see if there's a story related to the administration. The balsamic moon at 22 degrees of Cancer begins at 7:17 p.m. Pacific time. And this is another reason why I think it's something about the stock market or something about news, because the United States chart, the Mercury of the United States chart, is right about there at 22, 23 of Cancer. And I think there's going to be a story, and it's in the 8th house of the United States. So something about debt could be something that comes up. On Friday, the word of the day is contract. The moon will enter Leo at 10:09 a.m. Pacific time. I love a Leo moon. It is fiery. It's dynamic. You'll notice people talking louder, laughing more, having more fun. It's great to have a Leo moon for the weekend, although as soon as the moon goes into Leo, it opposes Pluto. So there could be a little bit of like power struggle energy with this. But in general, a Leo moon is really nice. Going out on a date is a contract. So yeah. And if you've like met someone and they're a little delayed in calling you, it's Mercury retrograde. Well, Mercury's direct now, but maybe you made the date when Mercury was retrograde, and now there's some kind of reversal where it's like pushed off or something like that. So just keep that in mind, to not necessarily get too upset if there's an adjustment in a contract. On Saturday, the word of the day is SWIRL. So Uranus is stationing to go direct, so there could be some big news on this day, or maybe it's going to be tomorrow, Sunday. But yeah, we're definitely going to have some news that like spins us around a little bit. That's what Uranus can do. It spins on its side backwards in the cosmos, and it rules sudden shocks and awe and reversals. And like it's pulling back the tape. Now with Uranus retrograde, I expect there may be something about Donald Trump because it has Uranus in his 10th house, and it's Uranus in the sky is right there as well. He has his natal Uranus in his 10th house, and Uranus in the sky is in his 10th house as well. So there may be something, something about him. I mean, we're in the middle of election season, so the candidates are making news basically on a daily basis, but there's maybe something uncovered that wasn't seen before. So just get ready to swirl. We'll see what happens with it. So that's it for this week's episode. Feel free to email me at celeste@astrologybyceleste.com with any astrology and action stories, or let me know how the daily themes are playing out for you, or you can also DM me on Instagram. Take care, and I will catch you next week. Thank you for listening to Celestial Insights. To learn more about my work, please visit my website, astrologybyceleste.com, where I offer personal readings, horary consultations, cosmic coaching, group events, and classes to help guide people to higher levels of fulfillment. You can also find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook at Astrology by Celeste. If you enjoyed Celestial Insights, please help others find the show. Follow, rate it 5 stars, or write a nice review. I would so appreciate it. I'm astrologer, coach, and intuitive Celeste Brooks, and I'll be back next week.